Greetings and welcome back, Dapplings, to the newest First Taste series that I'm going to be recording on the game Big Pharma, which is a game that's been on my radar for a little while, ever since I got contacted by the developers to see if I'd like to check this out. And I can confirm this game is bloody addictive, if nothing else. Now, to answer the obvious question before we actually get into the game, Big Pharma is a game that is currently in beta. It's available on their website, and there will be a link in the description below for the video. It went into beta on the 4th of June. It was actually started production in May last year, that is the 2014, and is slated for final release sometime this autumn, that is 2015. Now, it's made by Twice Circled, which is a one-man game development studio. The one-man in question is a gentleman by the name of Tim Wicksteed, who is based in Bristol in the UK, and you can get this game for about $19 US. That is somewhere in the region of £12 or 17 euros. Now, the big question, what is Big Pharma? Well, it's a little bit hard to explain. It's kind of a business simulation mixed with a logistics puzzle. You could sort of think along the lines of logistics puzzle being something like Factorio, or for that matter, Infinifactory, or Space Chem. Space Chem is probably a really good comparison, actually. And then it has the business sort of simulation aspects of many different types of tycoon games and theme games, such as Theme Hospital is probably an apt comparison. But we're going to jump into a new game. Now, I will put this forward there, that the missions in this tend to take a fair bit of time to get through, about an hour, and the tutorials, all of them together, took about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through. So I'm not going to be going through those. Now, I have played through all of these, and I played this one mission through to completion. The colors there represent how well I did. I got the best completion on it. The purple is Master, which I think is completed within 5 years. The blue is within 8 years, I think, which is like expert completion. And then the green is standard completion, which is within the time limit. That is 10 years. Now, I'm just going to jump in there. But before we do, there are quite a few different scenarios. And from what I can tell, you can just click on any of them. You're not held back. Different scenarios and different levels have different sorts of restrictions. Map size, for example, is a big part of it. The number of competitors will greatly change things. Over in here, you start with an enormous loan, which is, well, as it says, crippling debt. But we're going to start with the beginner. And for the First Taste series, I'll probably play 1 or 2 missions, though, of course, if there's a lot of interest for me to continue, if people seem to enjoy it by leaving feedback, likes, that sort of thing, then maybe I'll look at doing some of the missions in the later levels. But for the time being, we're going to begin with Bottom Line. It's a very basic scenario. All of the ones in this beginner tree are basic scenarios. So they'll have a cut down research and cure tree. That will become a little bit more obvious what that means as we play. Now, the company name will be Dapper Drugs because it remembers what I called my last company, and also remembers that I went with Leonard because Leonard looks like a mad scientist to me. There are other options, though. You can go with Tess, a businesswoman. You can go with Barkley, a shady businessman. You can go with Penny, who seems to be a doctor. You can go with Orion, who looks to be a far less shady businessman. But then again, you can never tell. Perhaps he is the most shady of the businessmen. Perhaps he keeps his hands clean by employing people like Barkley to do his dirty work. We can also have Sasha, who, for this game, is not a gun. Seems to be a scientist, or perhaps, well, actually, those look like doctor's robes. But there's a lack of a stethoscope. How can you be a doctor without a stethoscope? You have got a clipboard, though. I'll give you a pass, but got my eye on you, Sasha. Chan, who looks to be a construction worker. Very, very hands-on chief exec. Gets down there, gets his hands dirty with the workers. Very popular fellow. You can go with Jenny, who's a bit of an Indiana Jones-esque explorer. Or back to Leonard. We're going to go with Leonard because, come on, mad scientist. How can I say no? Now, the game is procedurally generated, so there is replayability even within the same scenario. These rooms are just made, the sort of map layout is completely procedurally generated. You can buy new plots. In fact, I'll pause it just briefly so I can cover some important things. You can buy new plots, but their cost will increase over time. These show the input-output points. Now, they allow you to input ingredients or output finished products. Very important to keep that in mind when purchasing areas. But you can only purchase ones that are right next to an area. And for the sake of adjacency, these dotted lines between buildings count as adjacency. So, for example, I can't buy this one, but I can buy this one because it's connected. But if I were to buy this block, then I would then gain access to this one, so on and so forth. But I am going to try and do this as a bit of a tutorial, but as I've said, the missions in this can take some time. So this is probably going to, even this one mission, maybe split over 2 or even 3 episodes. So I will try to come at things as I encounter them in the game, instead of trying to explain everything in the start, which would make this a very dry episode. We've already spent 5 minutes and all I've done is talk. Right, let's go and see on our queuers. What have we got access to? These are the queuers that I have available. These are the objectives that we need to make $1 million in 10 years. Or 5 if we want master. Now, you can have a look through these. These are ones we've got access to because we've got access to these ingredients to start off with. And this is also randomly generated. So again, there's a lot of replayability. Now, all of this information we'll come to in a moment. But basically, these are the requirements to upgrade a certain type of queuer into the queuer for something else. Typically something much more lucrative. But we're going to be focused on the soothes coughs and calms acid reflux. Here we can get some basic data on how many people are suffering with it, what the sort of saturation of a cure for this condition is, how many people have been permanently cured. Now, a bit bloodthirsty to say, but we don't really want to permanently cure people. We want to cure their symptoms, but keep them suffering from the disease so that they keep coming back to buy more cures. That is pretty horrible to say, but, well, you know, that's business. We've got 2,198 sufferers, and not really much in terms of supplied or permanently cured. The net demand is 88%, and the saturation is 0. Obviously, as saturation increases, net demand is likely to go down. Soothes coughs, a little bit more profitable, possibly because there's more net demand. But we need to have a look at the ingredients themselves, because this is going to tell us a lot about, we've got very good ingredients. We have had very, very good luck with our start up here. Now, just to cover this, all ingredients will tend to have, they can have 3 different things on them. They can have a positive effect, such as soothes coughs or calms acid reflux. Negative side effect, narrows pupils or increases blood pressure. Some can also have a catalyst trait, but we'll get into that soon. They cost a varying amount, but in this case, this little line here shows us the current potency of the drug. Now, that's the main thing that you're going to be adjusting in this game, is the potency. And that will do a couple of things. For example, soothes coughs is only active when the potency of the drug is between 6 and 13. Increases blood pressure is only active between 8 and 16. So we've got 2 points where I can be at 7 or 6, where it's only going to activate soothes coughs. So it'll have no negative side effect on this drug because it isn't potent enough for that element of the drug to become active. And likewise over here, there's a very large kind of buffer between the side effect and the positive. So we've got 2 cures that we're very easily going to be able to make. Both of them require me to increase the concentration of the drug by 1 to activate their cure. So we're going to go straight into production, and I'm going to get that going right away. In fact, right away we're also going to purchase this land, because I need 1 point to bring the drug in, 1 point to send the drug back out. And since I only had 3, that wasn't going to work. So now we've got a bit more room to play with. Now, we've got various different components. Now, this is the meat and guts of the game. This is where you try to work out how to fit all of the machines that you're going to need to carry the drugs and process the drugs before sending it off to be supplied to people. Now, we're going to want an evaporator. An evaporator increases the concentration by 1. It costs $10 to do, and process time of 1. These are all important pieces of information. The dissolver is basically the counterpart to the evaporator, but we're going to need an evaporator for both processes. Now, they can be rotated, but the input and output points, they can't be mirrored. But the input and output points, or at least I don't think they can, are set. So if we place an evaporator there, then we're going to have to bring the drug in there and then drug out there. And likewise up here, we'll do exactly the same thing. There you go. Now, if we place a belt, you can drag the belt and it'll intelligently connect to things. But there has to be a belt between every item. You can't have it just go... For example, I couldn't put one of these right there, leading in there. You can't, like, feed directly into machine. It has to go out onto a belt. Now, if I put up the time just slightly... Now, for a lot of this, I am going to be having the time on fast, but for this initial part, I'll just have it on the lower speed. And we want the other one there. Now, I've told these 2 points now to import a specific drug. There we go. Now, the process time of 1 means that it takes only 1 unit of time to do the entire process, which is great because it means as 1 pill goes in, 1 pill comes out. That's great. So you see these velelic steam capsules, I guess, get evaporated into a more concentrated form of velelic crystals, where the carbonic acid reflux is active. And over here we've got loposide rock, which gets evaporated into loposide crystals. Now everything gets changed into things in different colors, and you can actually start noticing things, but it's a really, really nice little detail. Now these are ready to ship as is. So we want a maker, because I don't think you can actually ship these straight out, because it's like, you don't sell a drug to someone in crystal form, or at least you generally shouldn't. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a pill maker. Now, if you notice this, I didn't actually pause on it, but it has a process time of 2. So it takes 2 time units to process. So what we want is to have 2 of them, so that each one can, for example, while this one's processing the first pill, the second one can take some of the slack off the conveyor belt. So you're never going to have a slowdown in production. There we go. So that's the basic setup. We're now making a bunch of pills. Now this means that we need to name our drug. So we've got Dapper Cough Buster. That's not going to do. I'm going to be using our master name list for this, and I've already got it up on screen. This will be the epiglottis. That's actually a good name. The Dapper Epiglottis Cough. Cough Catcher. There we are. Nice bit of alliteration. And here we've got the Dapper Stomach Pain Away. This shall be the Dapper Nuno Silva Pain Buster. Not so much alliteration, but we'll just have to go with that. But there we are. Now these are producing profit based on how processed they are. Now the nice thing with the pill printer is it increases the value of the pill that goes through it by 20. But it also costs 20 to run, so it kind of has a negligible effect. But if we have a look at these pills that are coming out of it, it gives us a complete rundown on the profit. So we're making currently 51 on this because the processing cost is 30, the raw material cost is 39, and the combined value is 120. Now that can change. Over here we're making 55. We've also got a little bit of information. Oh no! You scallywag! You're competing with me! Now this has just basically told me that my competitor has made a new treatment, but this treatment is directly competing with one of the ones that I've actively got. So if we go to company, which is this tab down here, we can see a few things. Now we've got a cure rating. Now that is very, very important. Now the cure rating, because we've got a C+, the drug's value is increased by 5%. And C is basically the middle ground. Any less than that, it'll decrease the drug's value. Any more than that, it'll increase. And this is largely based on how effective the drug is, and also negatively impacted by how many side effects the drug causes and how strong they are. There is, within each ingredient, if we have a look over here, somewhere in here there'll be a max strength point. The closer I am to the max strength for a side effect, the worse. The closer I am to the max strength of a positive effect, the better. But I won't know that until I discover until I use a thing that I need to research called the analyzer, and it'll actually tell me where these things are, where these points are within the drug. Now, we're going to hire some scientists, specifically 2. Now, I'm just going to pause it for a second just to show you what I'm doing here. Now, with the scientists, any idle scientists, which they are idle at the moment, they cost 3,000 to hire and then 30 per day. They'll work on this, which is research upgrade points. Everything you can build, and even some things which you can't. For example, basic exploration gives me access to forests. Down here, desert exploration will give me, will give me access to desert drugs that I can send my explorers out on, which I'll cover in a moment. But you can also upgrade things, not just purchase the ability to build them, but upgrade them. Now, be aware that under the basic scenario, this is a very stripped down tech tree. There's a lot more than is here at the moment. If I were in one of the intermediate or advanced scenarios, I'd have access to much more of the tech tree. But the research upgrade points I can spend the cost increases the more you've put into it. So, for example, the first point on the pill printer would cost 1, the second would cost 2, the third would cost 4, so on and so forth. But for the pill printer, it will increase the pill bonus. So from 20 to 23 means that each pill printer is actually making me money, because its cost is now completely absorbed by the bonus it gives to the drug and then some. With the dissolver and most of the machines, it'll tend to decrease their operating costs. Currently, I'm just using an evaporator, so if I had a point, I'd put it in there, because it would give me a little bit more profit on the drugs I've got. There are lots of different things you can unlock, different types of machines that do different things. But we need to specifically look at the cures. Now, the reason I need to look at that... oh, that's good. That one only uses the evaporator. Now, effectively, these are upgrades to the drugs. Think of more of them along the lines of evolutions of the drug. For example, the calmed acid reflux drug, if I move that drug up to a concentration of 16 to 18, then pass it through an evaporator, it'll change the calmed acid reflux effect to an alleviate stomach ulcers effect, which, as you can see, much more valuable to me. But it would require the use of various items to get it up there, so the production cost of the drug would go up as well. So you've got to kind of balance that. Now over here, I need to increase the soothes cough concentration to 8 to 11 and then pass it through an agglomerator, which is something we haven't researched yet, and that would give me eases asthma cure. Both of them are medium of the line, so they're not too bad. So we're actually going to put one scientist into the agglomerator, and because I'm fairly certain we're eventually going to need it, I'm going to put one in the ionizer. Now, the agglomerator and the ionizer are effectively upgraded versions of the evaporator and dissolver. They, instead of increasing or decreasing by 1, they increase or decrease by 3, but they cost a little bit more than the cost of running this 3 times. So, for example, the evaporator costs 10 to use. To use it 3 times, it would only cost 30, but the agglomerator costs 35, if I recall correctly. But again, you can upgrade it. Now, because I happen to know that one of these drugs can be just flat out upgraded using... Here we are. So it's the salty jelly fish smoke. Really? It's fantastic. Excavated materialis minerals and salty jellyfish smoke gave me this. That's fantastic. But if we increase this just slightly, it starts at 14, so I only need to push it through 2 evaporators and then put it through another evaporator. It gives me the ability to change calmed acid reflux into the next thing, but it still avoids narrows pupils. But I'll show you there's a slight catch to the way that this works. We're going to buy this one, so that's a new area. So we want to import this drug straight away. Then we're going to want to pump it through, well, actually increase the time, because these are making me profit, so I may as well. Oh, actually, we want to bring it through on this side instead. Now, the reason why we want to do it that way is because of the orientation here. So we'll import there. We will stop the import over there. And then we'll just go boom, boom, boom. Now, you can actually watch this happen when they come into the machine, which is quite nice. So there we go. And this one specifically, there we go. That changes. Ah, okay. So we only need to pull it down by 5. That'll give me alleviate stomach ulcers. But 5... of those, of the dissolvers, is going to take up an awful lot of space. Awful lot of space. So, this is going to be really quite awkward for me, but let's give it a try. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's taken up an awful lot of room there. But, should give me access to a much more potent drug. I'm having to make a terrible line of conveyor belts there. It kind of hurts my brain a little bit, but this is going to... Well, actually, why am I doing that? Why don't I just take it down here? I'm a derp. Alright. Well, I had already laid that, but I... no, there's no point in worrying about it. Let's move you. Now, it's always best not to delete those things because they cost a bloody fortune. There's one goes there. One goes there. Drive those up. And then this comes down there. Now we can make our pill printers. Now, let's just make sure this all works. I probably shouldn't have hooked those up until I was positive. But this should bring it down into the right area. There we go. Fantastic. So we just run that along. There we are. So we've now got 3 cures, and none of them have side effects. Again, this is luck, not judgment. I'll be honest with you. It's all procedurally generated, so I could have had much worse luck with that. But this is going to be the stomach sore bane. No. This shall be the Dapper Lynx stomach ulcer annihilator. It's just marketing, you know. I'm making it sound much more cool than it is, so that people will buy it. Okay. It doesn't actually affect it in any way, but in my mind it does. Oh, no, really? You're competing with me on the Nuno Silva? You scallywag. Also, I spelt that wrong. Ah! I only just noticed I spelt it wrong. Where are you? I need to, I can't rename it. Damn! Scallywags. Right, we've unlocked a bunch of stuff, so we're going to slow things down. Now, we've got the agglomerator and we've got the ionizer. Ironically, the ionizer is exactly what I actually want right now. But I'm going to go ahead and start researching in this way so I can get access to these. Now, research into basic auxiliary processes will open up new opportunities for machines which mix, rearrange, or otherwise adjust the basic structure of our drugs. This will give me access to much higher level cures. I am so sorry, Nuno Silva, for misspelling your name, by the way. I'm a scallywag, and I know it. But there we are. We're making a decent bit. That's making 110 profit. This is making 54. This is making 53. Let's go to the company and actually have a quick look. Oh, wow. Soothes Coughs is up to B. That's pretty nice. That means that it's... I'm very close to the max strength of the Soothes Coughs effect. Now, this one should be pretty good because it's bringing me in a fair bit of profit there. I don't know about the... Ooh, Soothes Coughs B and Calm Acid Reflux C+. They've probably done it exactly the same way. I imagine if I increase Calm Acid Reflux a little bit more, makes it a little bit more potent, it would work a little bit better. But now that they're competing with me on 2 of my cures, if I have a look at this, saturation 67, 31, that's not too bad. Alleviates stomach ulcers, 40%, that's fine. I can make an appetite suppressant, which is very, very good. But to get there... Oh, really? I don't need a catalyst. That's amazing. I just need an autoclave. That's uncommon. Usually to get to the 3rd level, you need a catalyst, which is a little bit more of a pain in the bum, honestly. But I can now go for eases asthma, and I'm tempted to do so. But before we do, let me just show you what you can do over here. This is the catalyst that I've mentioned. There are different types of catalysts. They'll have different icons. And basically this icon will be attached to one of the effects. You don't actually need it to be active, and I may get to show you that in this mission if it calls for it. But generally you just need it in the drug for it to be eligible to be upgraded. Now, I only need 1 explorer to get this one, and it would give me a catalyst and would help with pain. So I'm going to spend a lot of money to hire 1 explorer and put them out there. And again, much like the scientists, any idle explorers you have will earn you ingredient upgrade points, which you can spend to get discounts on the purchase cost of the ingredients, which is actually really, really useful. But we're going to go for a new area now. I actually like this one because it's got a lot of room, though this place has no input-output. It's a bit of a shame, but it's not too bad. And as you'll notice, the cost continually increases every time I do that. Now, we are actually going to need a little bit more room. So I'm going to go for... I'm going to go for this one. There we go. This gives me access to everything. Now, what I'm intending to do is to try and go for the... not stomach ulcers. We want eases asthma. Now, I'm going to need to get that up to 8 to 11 to use that, which is fine. Let's see what we can do. Wow, that's just so expensive. But 8 to 11. So we're going to import from over here. We'll import this one. We need to get it up using the agglomerators to 8 to 11. It starts at 5. So actually, 1 agglomerator will take us up to 8. Then pass it through another agglomerator. We'll change it into its new drug. But it will put us in the realm of its side effect. So we'll have to have a look at that. Oh, you scallywag, you. Sasha, go away. Right, we want an agglomerator. that one outputs in this direction, which is interesting. If I place one there and then another one perhaps there. We've also got some research, which is good. Let's slow down time. Now, I kind of want that autoclave, but I'm going to have to spend 3 research scientists on it, which is a pain in the bum. But it's worth it. Let's hire another one, because I really want to be able to get that 3rd level drug as soon as possible. Now, if we just pass all of this through, like so, then we'll see how this works. There we are. This should come out now in the right area. Good. Now, the thing is this effect going to need to move somewhere? Ah, okay, that's actually really good for us. If we pull it down by 3 and then pass it through 1 dissolver, we will completely, we'll deactivate the increases blood pressure effect. So, 1 ionizer, which is actually a good fit for this, about there. Followed by 1 dissolver, which is unfortunately not as good of a fit. Scallywags. You know what? We'll place that one there. Then we'll move this one up. There we go. Now, there's one other thing with negative things. This says cannot remove. You can actually sometimes remove a side effect. Usually you can't remove the last one from what I've seen, but you can remove 2nd or 3rd side effects by passing it through a certain machine, which can be very, very useful. Now that eases asthma. Still not a bad drug, I would say. Let's go ahead and bring it down here, though. And we'll take it out in this direction. So more pill printers. Now, not all machines have a 1-to-1 operating speed. Ooh, what's happening there? Ingredient discovered. Anhydrous hypocryolate solution. Yes. And my lord, that's a lot of bad things there. We can remove that with an agglomerator. We can't remove the nausea, but we can remove the dizziness with a ionizer. Actually, if we popped it through an ionizer straight away, that would remove the dizziness. Then we'd need to get it down to 0 to 5, then pass it through an agglomerator. But that's a lot to get rid of that, just to have a painkiller. But you never know. Right, the lung reliever. Eases asthma, I suppose. Yes, it does relieve your lungs. This shall be the Yeo, named for Estrate Oriole. Oh, Estrate Oriole. What on earth was I reading there? So, Yeo. Yeah, typing bad. The Yeo Lung Fixer-Upper. Hopefully that will be a good drug. But, again, this one, we have to pass it through an ionizer straight away. Then probably another ionizer it'll take us down to 11. I need to be down to 5. So 11 to 8 to 5. Then, such a pain. An agglomerator, then another ionizer. So the cost of that would be far more than the painkiller itself is worth, unfortunately. But let's have a quick look at the cures. What can I turn a painkiller into? Eases migraines, and that is required with a concentration of 7 to 10 to pass it through an evaporator. Okay, comes through at 14. We can pull it down to 11. I think it comes through at 14. Was that right? Yeah, 14. So one agglomerator... one ionizer gets rid of the causes dizziness. Then one dissolver to get it down to 10. Then push it through an evaporator to get up to eases migraine. Might be worth doing. Let's give it a try. So we're going to bring it in here. Import. So we need an ionizer straight off the bat. We're starting to run a little bit low on money, and these things cost a lot. So grab this ionizer. Then we're going to want to put it through a dissolver. I think it's a dissolver. Double check. So that's gotten rid of this one. It's now in 11. Yeah, we needed one dissolver. And this should bring us down to the point where we can use the next item, which is an evaporator. There we go. So an evaporator here. That actually works out really well. That's a very, very tight little setup there. Now you can paint the conveyor belts, and I'll quickly show that. You just select this and paint the conveyor belts, for example, there. You don't need to do the whole line, but now a green conveyor belt well, normally wouldn't connect. You can overwrite it, but from what I understand, it's a useful system to get rid of, to allow you to make much tighter setups where the conveyor belts won't necessarily overwrite each other. Okay, eases migraine. Unfortunately, I'm still going to have to pull that down. So I need to pull this down into... Ooh. Okay. With a catalyst. Does this... No, this doesn't have a catalyst. But I could make it push it through an agglomerator to upgrade to anti-seizure. That would be interesting. Let's go to the ingredients straight away. Ah, damn it. I got rid of the causes dizziness. Scallywags. I thought this had that. Okay. Okay, change of plan. Change of plan. What we're going to do is we're going to do away with this. Never delete. Always just move. We are going to do something a little bit more drastic. We are going to pass this through several dissolvers. Okay. We're going to pass it through several dissolvers. Let's try and get this set up. So we need to basically push this through 4 dissolvers, which is going to be such a pain in the bum. I think at this stage we kind of need to buy a new area. Yeah. Okay, so we'll get another one. This way we've got this effect without losing the catalyst. Then we need to push it through an evaporator. Then we need to push it through an agglomerator, I think. We'll see. Speed this up a little bit. And once we set up this drug, I'm going to wrap this up. But we're going to just be pushing this one straight down the path. This is a fantastic drug because it's got that catalyst there. Now, what have we got? Q's migraine. Yeah, so all I need is to get 15 to 18. This is such a lucky drug because the drugs themselves, the ingredients, are, again, procedurally generated. Researching this, the spinny fig, in one game will not give you the same ingredient with the same setup in every game. There we go. Advanced research. Let me just hop over there. Oh, I'll hire you. Go to the autoclave. Thank you. There we go. And also ingredients. I probably got a couple of points there. So let's actually bring down the cost of you two. There we go. The stress of modern life is starting to get people. Causes of migraines are slowly climbing. Ah, damn it, really? I've just undone having something that gets rid of migraines. Well, scallywags. Okay, well, we'll continue with this. And once I've made this cure, I'll probably be wrapping up this episode. We'll do that, I think. So let's just double check. This is currently at strength 11. I need it to be 15 to 18. But if we can push it up to 18, we're going to be outside of all of the negative effects. So it's going to be worth doing this. Let's get you going. How much time have we got? We're not even remotely through. So we're good. Okay, once more. And what have we got? Alright, it is now ready to be pushed through one more agglomerator to move into the next stage. So, where are you, agglomerator? Actually, thinking about this. This is now a strength of 17. 15 to 18. You know what? It would be better if I did this. Much better, in fact. Push it through an evaporator. So get rid of you. Put that there. We'll leave this there. Bring that down. There we go. Now that should be in the right realm. Yes. So now it's going to go through the agglomerator. And become... Ooh, anti-seizure. But I'm going to have to pull it down by 3. So it means an ionizer. Oh, this is such a tight little... I'm not going to have enough room. Damn it, after all that. Okay. Well, you've got to try and experiment a little bit sometimes to work all of this out. We'll pop that there. We've got a lot of room over there. Do this. So much wasted money there. Kind of hurts. But if we do this there, how much room do I need? Almost no room on this side. It might actually be better for me to purchase this, honestly. Yeah, it will. Okay, so we'll move these around. Put that one there. This one here. There we go. Now, is that all going to be right? Yes, it will. I hope. There we go. There we are. Okay, and then finally we have the pill printers. And we're done, hopefully. I'm taking a bit of a risk by just building all of this without testing at all, but let's throw caution to the wind for the end of the episode. See if this actually does what I want it to do. Okay, it's the right color, it's the right type of thing. It's crystals. What is it going to be now? Okay. It is now... This is migraine. Pops through an agglomerator. Oh, wait. Stop. Messed up. I did mess up. Damn it. I need the ionizer. Why is that where it is? That seems odd. Did I put this in the wrong place? I did, it seems. Okay, this is why you don't just throw caution to the wind, because you make stupid mistakes. Okay, so that's gonna increase from 11 to 14. Oh no, it was actually right. Never mind. Take everything back. I was doing things right for once, kind of. But what I did need was an ionizer at the end. Okay, I'm fairly certain, possibly, I'm a little bit uncertain, but I think I may have gotten it right this time. Maybe. Kind of. Yes. Yes, I'm pretty happy. I need to bring it down 4 or 3. No, only 3. There we go. We're going to have causes fatigue, but, well, you know, it's anti-seizure. I'm sure it'll be okay. Profit of 390 there. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to end this episode with Dapper Shakeaway. Wow, okay. We are going to be calling this the Master Swanson Shakeaway. There we go. That is not a bad little drug there. All off one input, which is very uncommon to be able to get to a level 3 item from a single drug going all the way down. That's actually very uncommon indeed. Now we can go for treats bronchitis, or we can go for appetite suppressant with the autoclave once we've got that. But I'm afraid that is all going to be for the next episode. I do hope you've liked that one. I would appreciate any feedback in the comments below on the video, on the game, whether you'd like to see a little bit more of it. We've got the ionizer over there. Why didn't I use that? Oh, I'm a dope. But that is it from me, so I shall see you in the next. But until then, and as always, do take care.